next time, buddy. Woo! Woo! Yeah, all right.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Innuendo.
You don't get it, we
Innuendo. But if you with it, when it's finished,
in the innuendo.
Let's go. Back at it like a bad video for you guys. This is part 2 to my story time video of jobs that do not see your potential. If you haven't seen part 1, go ahead and check that out. We're jumping straight into Marshall's when I worked at Marshall's. Now, Marshall's was my first job when I came down here into Maryland and stuff. I originally didn't work in retail before. My first job I ever worked was Burger King. It actually was not bad. Like Burger King, shout out my Burger King family, man. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys, man, because my exit was so beautiful. Like, first of all, I felt like they actually appreciated me overall. I left, I had a cake, okay? Everybody was sad for me to leave. I had a book that my friend created with her other friend, and everybody signed their name. It was pictures with people and stuff. Beautiful thing. I really felt appreciated when I left, and it was crazy because I was not expecting that at all, man. It was a beautiful thing. You don't get that kind of appreciation leaving a job, and that is probably the job that actually saw my potential, and if I wanted to, I could have been manager. That is the job. That's what's funny. That's hilarious. Marshall was my first job coming down here, and it actually, I appreciate my uncle and my aunt for helping me out. And actually, I think they pointed out that they were hiring, and that's how I started working there. And that kind of gave me the stepping stones, like my footing, so to speak, for me to kind of get like used to that kind of work. Because when I went to Aldi, it was kind of like, to me, it felt like compare or contrast. Like, it wasn't too different as much as you would think. It was just grocery store stuff that was a little additional things. And it was more to do. But Marshall's was not bad in the beginning. Managers, everything was fine in the beginning. As time progressed, I felt like the managers there, not all of them, but after a while, and I don't know if it was just performance-wise, but it took me a while to understand working hard and like really trying to make sure like I'm doing my job successful, and like actually like I work hard all the time, but it took me a while to really understand that working at Marshall's. I stopped liking that job too, but I started going there, and it went from people was looking like excited to see me to it was looking like him. That's how they was looking. That's how I felt when I went in Marshall's after a while. I was just like, you know what? I don't think they like me no more, man. But one of the first funny incidents is like every so often they would have like food, which I like Marshall's for that, because when you did good, they gave us food, which a lot of jobs don't really do that. But they gave us food. I'm like, okay, so we get food and stuff. But the one time, listen, this is why I don't. No disrespect, working with black people, they acting a little weird. Like, it's like portions, like how many, like you can get a certain amount of stuff, and I'm looking like no one else can get this like certain amounts, but you trying to act like I don't know, it was just acting weird about like the portion, whatever. But one day they had like some chicken from who knows what, maybe Popeye, I don't remember, KFC, maybe not, but it was chicken. That's all I remember. But anyway, so one time they had chicken or whatever. Everybody's piling their plate, fixing stuff, whatever. And I went in there because I didn't want the food to be gone before I went on break. So I just created my little plate or whatever and had that to the side. And I'm working, and they called me and then complained about some chicken. Talking about some, yeah, you got too many pieces of chicken on your plate. You got to take one. I was like, hey, bro, what? You took me away from doing my task and being on task to tell me about some chicken. Because we've been stingy over chicken now. And you was looking in the refrigerator just scrounging out people bowls and food and stuff. And the only reason why mine got caught out of the people, because I don't know, mine was in the refrigerator. I don't know how people covered their stuff up, or people just ate theirs real quick. Because sometimes they be doing that, and it's like, I'm supposed to be working, so I'm going to be working. I'm not about to go in there and start eating and stuff. Everybody's eating it, whatever the case is. So they playing about some chicken. That like that got on my nerves. So the next time they order food, I had my own food. I was like, I'm not eating their food, bro. Like, guys are so stupid, I should say. Like, nah, bro. I'm not. I don't care. Like, but it's little petty stuff like this. It's like, okay, whatever. After a while, I start going. So I feel like you kind of get that energy. Like they don't really care about you, and it's like, I mean, it's what's to be expected, but nah, man. I wasn't feeling that energy. I wasn't feeling none of that, whatever. And funny enough, they get a new like job description title thing in Marshalls, and I'm like, okay, I see this, and it's a customer service management. I think it's like customer service management, or so I talked to them. I wanted to do that, and mind you, I had told Marshalls since day one that I wanted to learn the register, and they had yet, and all the way into my departure, they still haven't taught me how to use the register. They never told me how to use the register. Yet when I asked them about the coordinator, I think it was a coordinator position. They normally do like coordinator positions right before management. And Marshalls was actually, it's funny because I actually kind of tried to prep myself for coordinator positions, which would allow me to succeed at Aldi as a lead associate or shift manager, because it would be the same as the coordinator positions, because their managers after the coordinators are like the ones who actually open like the next step above. So that's what that would have been. But there's some you have to pretty much like know the register. We got to teach you the register. Okay, that's fine. They teach me the register. They didn't teach me the register. I'm not chasing nobody over what needs to be done or whatever. And then when we had a meeting one time, and then it was like to a point where it was a meeting and it was something else going on, and then they literally had spent enough time teaching people different sectors, and we all walked around and was learning different stuff in the morning, whatever, and they was trying to teach people to register, but I barely had enough time to even like figure out what the freak was going on for that register situation before they pulled us over to the next situation, the next like area, zone, whatever. And I mean, the stuff I'm like, okay, sure, but I thought I was like hands-on. I'm trying to learn the register. I wanted to learn the register. I don't know what it was, but they was not trying to teach me the register. They rather just have me on the floor, which is funny because now I wish I do that at Aldi. So, but they wouldn't teach me the register, but they were saying that I needed to know the register in order for that position, whatever. And it's like, okay, but didn't teach me the register. So I'm like sitting and thinking to myself, like these jobs, they just, it's crazy. I'm sitting there like working hard stuff. I show that I'm interested in that, and the person who originally I think was interested, they didn't want it, and then somebody else was thinking about it, and then the person who I believe was doing it for a little bit turned it down. So I was like, if that position is still open, I'll take it. I'll take that responsibility and I'll go for it. And the only thing that they expressed was that I learned to register. If that was it, then that was it. I'm like, come on now. Come on, man. It was no reason for me that not to go anywhere. But then I was part-time and I'm trying to be full-time. But I didn't know if that position was part-time or what. But I just like to advance myself in the career. Advance myself in the jobs that I work at, so that way I can be further along than when I started. That could be good on my resume, that the manager stuff or whatever. So I kept prepping myself for coordinating stuff, even though it was a manager position, so that would have been the next step above. And I'm like, let's go for it. Like it's nothing. Come on, nothing happened. They didn't teach me to register, so it just kind of just kept me there, and it was just like, we don't care. They didn't care, and then it was because I was part-time, the least amount of hours I can get was literally 1 day. So they thought I was gonna sit there and just come in there 1 day, and they kept scheduling me the same fucking day that I had class, bro. Like, bro, no. And I call out, oh, we made a mistake. You made a mistake every single time, though. I think they was being petty or something. It was, come on now, there's no way. I gave you my availability, told you when I'm available. Work with my schedule, but they weren't trying to do that, and then they weren't really giving me hours. So in my mind, I'm like, why work at a company if I'm not gonna get hours? So I just decided, I was like, you know what, I gotta leave Marshalls. I can't. That's how I ended up cutting Marshall's back, because just the dumb stuff, and I just felt like the way interacted with the people in there was fine, but management was kind of iffy depending on the management. It was nah, bro. Nah. Marshall's was not the place, and everything happens for a reason, because I leave these jobs, but realistically, sometimes I probably don't even want to ever go back. Sometimes people will put their 2 weeks in just professionally, so that way they have a chance to go back. I don't know if I'm in these jobs I'll ever go back, depending on the experience, but maybe the type of job, depending on the job in question, but not the exact place. But so yeah. So I'm that's why I had to sit there and make a decision. I was like, you know what? I'm trying to go to school stuff. So I had to cut Marshall's back. I cut Marshall's back and ended up working 2 jobs. That's why I ended up at the daycare center. You could check part 1 on the daycare center about all that. But after that, I ended up leaving the daycare center, and now I'm at Aldi's currently, and that's where we're gonna hit that part 3, talking about Aldi's. So go ahead, you guys, smash that like button. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. We out here doing our thing, man. Let's get it in. I'm gonna have some more videos for you guys, but banging these out, getting these story times together, because I got a lot of stuff to talk about, bro. Like, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. Let's get it in. But yeah, part 3. We're gonna talk about all these, man. Let's get it in. Appreciate you guys, man. Y'all be easy, man. I'll catch y'all on part 3. Peace.